We ask all listeners to gamble responsibly. All odds and tips mentioned in this podcast are personal opinions and used in reference to the Kindred brands. Welcome back to the Kindred Kickoff podcast. I'm joined today with podcast veterans Nicholas, Benji, and also we can start adding Christian to this list as well, because Christian's been on for consecutive weeks now. How are we all feeling, guys? Good game week?
Very good.
I mean, there's so much football happening all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the best time of the year.
I mean, Christian's obviously buzzing off that unbelievable Chelsea win the other night, which we will delve into. You know what? Let's just crack into it, because it is. We don't do the recap as much anymore, but it's a game that's worth talking about.
So I'm gonna do my classic, interrupt everyone and jump in on the first start before we get into the games. You guys have been asking for a couple of months, when is Tottenham run out of steam and so on. They got 2 injuries, 2 red cards, and they're playing, was it Wolves, City? No, Wolves someone else.
Away, yeah.
And then someone else, and then City. This might be a very complicated stretch for Tottenham, and they can lose points, especially if they play with a high line of 9 by the midfield.
I've never seen anything like it.
That was insane.
I was watching that with a mate. Oh, sorry, I'm not mentioned. I was watching that with.
Was it a Tottenham mate?
He wasn't a Tottenham mate. He's a Crystal Palace fan. I was watching it with him, and we were like, he was saying that he went to the Palace game with Tottenham the other week, and he was saying, I don't know how at the start of the game, Chelsea-Tottenham, he's like, I don't know how they don't concede more goals because their line is so high. And then obviously, lo and behold, 2 players off, and they're still playing suicide football.
Christian, quote me if I'm wrong, Christian, but I think the words you said to me in the office was, even with 11v9, I was still stressed.
Yeah, I've never been so nervous playing 9 men. It was ridiculous.
They
There was so much expectation.
Made a meal of it.
Yeah.
But you know, I know Andrew's got a lot of praise for that, but I was saying to someone earlier that if Tottenham were to miss out on top 4 by a point or by 2 points, you're going to look back at that game and think, if we dropped 20 yards deeper, we could have nicked something there. So, you know, realistically, who's going to be singing his praises then?
But I think those injuries, I don't know how bad it would be Maddison, but the other guy was hamstring.
Van der
probably.
Ven,
yeah. I think those injuries are
on top of Romero 3 games out. That's going to be patchy. So let's see what happens in the coming weeks. I said last week Wolves is going to be a tough game for Tottenham. So kick off with that, boys. What have we got on Wolves Tottenham?
1x, 175.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Pretty sensible for me.
Yeah. 1x, 175.
Yeah.
Anything from you, Christian? Wolves Tottenham?
I like Wolves for the win, obviously, given the chaos. I was trying to work out what Tottenham's back line was going to be, and it's Emerson Royale, Porro, maybe Højbjerg at centre-back or a youngster, but they're still missing Neto.
Yeah.
And I still think, what the Chelsea-Tottenham game did show is, even with the absolute chaos that was going on, is Tottenham players still had a good mentality to hold out for that long. So he's still going to commit to his football of a high line. So I'd actually, if I had to choose, I was actually going to go for a draw of 3.75.
Yeah, I'd fancy a draw. Especially now with a depleted Tottenham.
And as Chris said, like, Neto is the fire starter for that Wolves team, so they won't be as creative or as punchy as they can be, or at least you would assume that.
Okay, moving on to the next game, 3:00 kickoff, Man United Luton. I've got a big smile on my face as I'm saying that.
Well, I'm sure Liverpool had a big smile on their face last week.
That's not the reason why I've got the smile on my face. Obviously, we've been a little bit mixed with Luton. I think we've slammed them and we've also given them a lot of praise. You know, when they have nicked points,
so
and obviously
when
they
the
need a
season
lot.
Started, we said it would be
Worst ever.
hard. Yeah, but we also said it would be hard for some teams to play them at home in that stadium and so on. And I think that's I didn't watch the full game with Liverpool.
We saw that with Liverpool. Yeah. Did anyone see that there was a dog in the stadium?
No.
There was a Labrador just chilling.
That's some Ted Lasso vibes.
Yeah, just chilling in the stadium. nice stat for you guys. So when three teams have been promoted, only once have all three teams gone down, and that was in 1998. It's not common for the three teams that come up to go straight back down. But I still back ourselves with our prediction that all three of the new teams will go down. So what have we got? Man United, Luton. Man United at home.
I can start.
Yeah.
Double chance first half.
Yeah.
Draw away, 2-10. Man United have won 6 games. Only one where they've been leading half time. So they are slow starters with the Champions League match this week as well.
Yeah,
there you go.
Wednesday, like late the second day, so yeah.
Yeah. And I think under 0.5 goals first half at 270. Again, if they score a goal, it's about 80% that it's going to be ruled out anyway. So that's another one, 270. Again, they score most of their goals in the second half. The third one is corners, because Man United are now the highest averaging team for corners at 12 per game.
And never scoring them.
No, exactly. But they also concede a lot of corners, which they did against Fulham. Over 10 is 190, over 11 corners to cover their average is 238. Yeah. So I think that's decent. Luton, middle of the pack for corners with 9.7 per game.
Yeah.
And then the thing with United is goal scorer lottery, right? The top goal scorer of the team, they're all on 3.
Yeah.
That's complete gut feeling, but I see Bruno scoring this weekend. Team is getting a bit more results. You know, he's clearly a leader in there. I think that it's the vibe.
It's a big game tonight, really. I think a lot can, if we get done in tonight, then I think that it makes Saturday much tougher than it needs to be.
But I think you carried a good momentum from the first leg of that Copenhagen game.
Yeah.
Get going, like Maguire scored, and Adam made say, like, you know, precisely the stuff that was heavily criticized bounce back. And I think that kind of.
I have another stat. So United have never beaten Copenhagen in Copenhagen.
Really?
They've never beaten Galatasaray at Galatasaray.
Copenhagen, to be fair to them, they almost deserved the point against Bayern a month ago. They had a great game.
It's not a foregone conclusion at all.
No.
Christian.
Comme ça, FC go.
Sorry?
Comme ça, FC go.
Comme ça.
Anything from your side?
Yeah, I'm just looking at obviously United's goals, and similar to what Nicolas said, and tempted to repeat my Palace bet from last week. Man United to win under 2.5 is 3.85 your money.
Yeah.
Luton haven't actually conceded that many compared to the other teams in the bottom 3. They've conceded 21, and the others have conceded 27 apiece and 30. So they're a little bit better defensively.
Well, speaking of freely conceding, Arsenal played Burnley at home, so I think that's going to be quite a high-scoring game. Have we got any tips on that one?
Oh, Arsenal's probably. I don't know if it's one of those, you know, like when you.
It's the sort of games where Eddie the Eagle thrives.
Yeah, but it's also like if you feel you've been done in the previous game.
Yeah.
The next team kind of pays for it. Like you score 4 in the first half and you're all pissed off.
That was Arsenal's first big test away from home, and they had one shot on goal.
Yeah.
They really lack a proper top number 9. And considering, again, we always slam Chelsea on this podcast for spending a lot of money and having so many deficiencies, I think Arsenal really lack a number 9.
Yeah, and Chelsea, I mean, they scored the same goal 3 times, which is the most basic goal in football. Someone goes on the side and squares it back. So
I've just got to give a shout out to Nicholas Jackson on that celebration. It was like celebrating against like an under 13s team, scoring as an adult. It was brilliant and awful at the same time.
Yeah.
Christian, what's your thoughts on that?
On Arsenal, not on the celebration.
I'd actually like to hear both.
The Arsenal Burnley game is actually the tip that I wanted to highlight that I mentioned just before you jumped on. Charlie Taylor at left back, a bit of a hurling special. He could probably up against Saka.
Yeah.
Charlie Taylor is 5.8 your money to get booked.
Ooh, that's high.
And he's already got 3 this season, which is not the most that they have, but he's been booked a few times. If you combine an Arsenal win with a Charlie Taylor yellow card, you're getting 6.25, which for me is my top tip, it won't come in now, but my top tip of the week.
Oh yeah, I mean that could fall in the spice category.
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't want to quote spice for Nicholas. He's the one who dishes out the spice on this podcast. He's the spice
That
man,
is
so.
reserved for Nicholas. Rohan's starting to build up the spiceometer. But yeah, Christian, couple more pods, you'll be there, mate.
That's a great tip, actually.
Amazing.
Next game is Crystal Palace against an in-form Everton. Have we got any Calvin Lewin tips here? just throw it out there.
I think Everton, very simple bet, and I almost feel ashamed for saying this. Everton to win. 305.
For the simplicity, 310 now. For the simplicity of the bet, don't feel ashamed. I think that's really high. I mean, and I think Everton's in form, as you said.
Yeah.
I think if you don't believe in Everton and you think Palace is in form, I think 250 at home is also a good line for Palace. So it's more of, you know, where you wanna. I think Everton are in form. I think, as you said, I think I don't want to say the worst is behind them, but
Yeah.
after
They've.
a rough start.
Do you remember, like a few pods ago, I was saying that you just want them to be a bit hard to beat, like a bit of grit, and I think that they've got that now.
They lost one in the past 5. They are in a better shape.
Mm-hmm.
Anything from you, Christian?
A little bit scared to fix anything on this one. I want to lean towards Palace, but I really think Everton are starting to show a little bit of Dyche grit, aren't they? They've only lost to Luton and Liverpool in their last 8, so probably stay clear of this one.
Next game is Newcastle versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth at home. Bournemouth now in the relegation zone. They're 3 defeats on the bounce. Newcastle, obviously apart from last night, looking fairly decent. Beat Arsenal on the weekend. I feel
A lot
like
of risk on Callum Wilson's fitness.
Yeah, they're starting to really they're down to the bare bones, Newcastle, this early on in terms of injuries. But I still fancy them to roll over.
We said a few times that their squad depth will be tested. We obviously didn't anticipate Tonali to get a leg-breaking end of season ban.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you're right, Chris. I think the form's gonna change. They were not really good against Dortmund last night in the Champions League. We were a bit better than the previous week, but yeah, Newcastle started strong in that Champions League group, and they're now 3rd.
They're 4th.
They're 4th. Yeah, so that group is crazy. I'll tell you as a PSG.
Because anyone can go through still, right?
I think. I'll tell you, kickoff of match day 6. I'm pretty sure anyone can still go through.
Yeah. You've got Newcastle next, right?
Correct.
In Paris.
In Paris. Yeah.
Let's see how that goes. Do you have any other tips on this one, guys?
I think, again, depending on Callum Wilson's fitness, but for him to over 1.5 shots on target is 265. I think he's had 15 shots on target thus far in 5 plus 5. So he started 5 and come on 5 games. And that's 265, and I rate that quite highly against a poor Bournemouth who concede a lot of shots and who are bad defensively. Newcastle as well, they averaged the 3rd most shots on target in the league, which means that over 5.5 shots on target for the team at 167 or over 6.5 at 220. I find all of those appealing.
That's not bad. I think also, I never really liked that kind of bet. I used to like it a lot a few years back, but the halftime full-time bets, I think Newcastle halftime full-time is 250, and if you want to get really crafty and you don't think they score early, draw Newcastle is like over 5. But I feel like Newcastle, most of their game is it either works quickly or it doesn't, and then they score 5 or they struggle. It's a bit of an all or nothing team.
The lesser teams, I think, will, when they've got a deep block, it'll be interesting to see, because they always play well against the big boys.
If you open, exactly. If the game's open, they're gonna punish you. But if there's you're right. If there's a block of 2 lines of 5 or 1 line of 4, 2 lines of 4.
Anything else from you, Christian?
I think, yes. We mentioned last week around. I started reading Newcastle subs. It does feel like the squad strength's catching up with the more depth. So, 1.6 was pretty low considering Bournemouth have been poor in parts. One thing I liked was Nicholas's Longstaff comment. He seems like he always gets booked last week. I think that was one of the tips. He's now been booked at 4 games in a row, so we want to make that, 5 in a row, get a nice round number, get him a ban. And he, again, insane odds, 5.8 to get booked.
I wonder if anyone's been booked 5 games on the spin. Must have done.
Yeah.
Mitrovic?
Probably, yeah.
If you want to go a bit safer, I mean, Newcastle have had maybe second or third most bookings in the league when I last checked, and over 5.5 cards for the game, and Newcastle to win is 3.25.
I mean, they do have an MMA centre mid with Guimaraes, so that's not a bad shot.
He gets away with a lot though.
He does, yeah.
Dude, he punches.
He does. The next game is the pod favourite, the hipsters' favourite, Aston Villa versus Fulham. Aston Villa back at home.
Apologies to the listeners. It was a terrible weekend last weekend for the Villa boys.
Yeah.
It was just, worse on worse. I think they're going to bounce back.
Yeah, I fancy them too as well. Fulham won great against us. They're really missing a number 9.
That's what you said. I think it's what we said after they played Tottenham as well. It's there's just no chances.
No, but also Man United made Willian look like a prime Willian, as if he was 24 years old, blistering pace.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen against Villa.
Matty Cash.
Yeah.
Comes up a lot. No, I'm not. I'm playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, no, but Fulham actually created some decent chances against Man United, and that's not due to Fulham's prolific attacking options. That was because Man United were piss poor. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah, I don't know how we managed to get back onto United. Any tips for Villa Fulham?
On target last weekend.
No.
It's because he was away.
Yeah, but come on, a shot on target.
No. But it doesn't happen away. He's homesick, the boy.
Was it Chicharito back in the days? There was a guy who always scored at home and was horrible away.
No, I wasn't Chicharito. Chicharito was good
everywhere.
Yeah, he always used to score at Stamford Bridge.
I really like Chicharito.
I'm sure Physio will remember that.
Yes, vividly. Back headers and everything.
Anything from your side, Christian, on Villa Fulham?
Yeah, Douglas Luiz, it's the man. It's his time to shine at home. Villa win and Luiz shot on target is 2.95. Villa win, Douglas Luiz goals 4.8, which does feel a little bit low, but given his run, I'm going to go with it.
And they scored 2 goals or more in their last 6 or 7 home games, something like that. So
prolific.
Yeah, at home again.
At home.
You might detect a pattern, which I tend to have in these pods. Villa over 5.5 shots on target is at 198. They average 5.7 and are 5th in the league for shots on target. So against Fulham, that fairly lacklustre. At home at Villa Park, I take that all day. The 6.5 line is 275. I also have Douglas Luiz. Just the shot on target is 225.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next game is another pod favourite. Brighton playing Sheffield United. Brighton have started, I know we've kind of hinted at it because they're now playing more than 1 game a week, but they've started to slip off slightly, not hitting the levels they were at the start of the season. Do you have anything on this one? Brighton at home.
I have a statistically backed bet.
Go on.
If we've got the stats right in game week 11, I'm reading it just in front of me. Brighton have had both teams to score in 11 out of 11, and it's 180 for both teams to score in this one. I fancy that, but we need just a little bit of spice. Again, this is very mild temperatures of spiciness,
like chili flakes.
Yeah, like 2 chili flakes. Honestly, it's not more than that. But again, built by some stats.
Yep.
Christian, I'm taking your position as the stats master. Please use a lot of spice. Brighton are actually lowest in the league for corners on average. So, both teams to score under 12.5 corners. Again, Brighton average 8.6 and Sheffield 10. Under 12.5 feels like a safe sort of line. That's a 240 combined with great stats behind it. I'll go for that one.
And Sheffield United will be away, so they're probably getting a lot less corners than the average of 10.
Yeah.
Anything from the stat man?
That is both teams to spice, right? I actually had Brighton to win both teams to score because you are correct, Nicholas. They have not kept a clean sheet. The only clean sheet they've kept this season was in the pre-season friendly against Brentford. Given that, I still didn't like the odds at 2.43 for them to win and both teams score just because they've got Ajax midweek and because they've been looking a bit shaky.
Ajax are starting to get back to themselves a little bit now as well. They picked up a couple of wins, so that'll be interesting.
The overall goals as well, you can add in your bet builder to spice it up. I think that Brighton has like 24, 25 goals on the season so far, which is 2 a game at least.
Yeah.
And if you said that they were going to concede as well, that's automatically 2 or 3 goals in the mix, right? So that's not bad to look at. I think over 3.5 is 195, which is probably not high enough of a price. But then again, is it statistically backed?
Next game is West Ham Forest. West Ham at home.
You know what you haven't said today?
Go on.
Another London derby. There is no London derby this week.
Hold on.
Hold on, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no London derby.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I think we needed to say
That's
all
a
the time.
freak.
you said
Yeah.
this,
I mean,
yeah.
this is a freak occurrence. Yeah. So West Ham, who are a London team, playing Nottingham Forest, who are Northern.
Yeah. I think that has West Ham. Forest had a good game.
That was a good result for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a really good result for them. Because obviously against our pod favourites.
They were home. Now they travel to West Ham. West Ham is 178 flat, just to win the game.
They're another team that have started. I don't want to say decline, but probably find their level.
Formless. Maybe they were overachieving in the beginning.
Yeah. They took everyone by surprise a little bit.
But also we said it was up until mid-September there was no midweek games, stuff like that. That's a bit colder. But yeah, it's changing a bit. I think November is always a challenging period for all clubs. Like you go to winter mode, more games, more this.
Well, I mean, this is the last week before international break.
There's another, that's what I was about to say.
So
there's another international break.
So yeah,
That's true.
It's another snooze fest to look forward to. Any tips on the West Ham Forest game?
What? Is that Jared Bowen knocking on the door? No, Jared, not again.
He did score again away from home.
I know.
But London Stadium, he's not as reliable.
He's basically the opposite of.
Yin and Yang is Douglas Luiz, Jared Bowen.
Yeah. Basically, you have them both. You score every match. But I think as you said, the form is what is it like? Forest has only lost 1 out of the last 5. They have a few draws and a win.
Mm-hmm.
While West Ham has lost 4 out of the last 5. So the momentum's completely shifted, and they're actually 12th and 13th in the league. So
very similar to
exactly. So those prices gaps are a bit high. But yeah, Forest probably doesn't travel as good as well. So it's not an easy game.
Yeah.
Still think West Ham should.
Christian, anything from your side on this one?
I really don't like West Ham's odds. I think they're far too low given their form, and Forest picked up a good win at the weekend. I think I really like Mohamed Kudus, and he's started playing a couple of games now, or he's been brought into the team a bit more. He's got 2 and 2, so him to score a goal was at 3.35 money.
Good goal as well the other week, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's a great player. I think they need to bring him in a bit more.
I think we mentioned him on the first pod about he was still at Ajax at the time, so yeah, we'll keep an eye on him. He might be a Pedro Neto favourite. Next game is Liverpool-Brentford. Liverpool at home, fresh off a 1-1 draw with Luton. Let me not jinx United. It was very close to an embarrassment. I mean, it's still 2 points dropped, but it was very close to a historic loss or a historic win if you're a Luton fan. What have we got on this one, boys?
I think that's going to be a case of we almost got, and I don't mean that in a bad way towards Luton, but we almost got humiliated. So
we need to
bounce
step
back
up.
and destroy these guys, like 3-0 at halftime kind of thing.
And we know Brentford aren't as good on the road as well.
No. So yeah, Nicholas, where's the value? 50 shots on target.
No, but I think Buemo shot on target at 167. He's tied 8th in the league for shots on target among players. Just north of 1.2 shots on target per game, combined with both teams to score, because I think Liverpool are still very vulnerable defensively.
Yeah.
Both teams to score comes in 73% of Paul's games and 64% of Brentford's games. And then over 3.5 Brentford corners, they average 4.3. Pool concede 4.4 per match. So the Buemo shot on target, both teams to score, and over 3.5 Brentford corners at 470 with incredible stats backing. I like that.
That's the new term of the pod. Stats backing.
Can I just, before Christian has his go, I just want to throw in a little thing. Obviously, I just said about Brentford not being great on the road, but they have won more games at Stamford Bridge than Chelsea. So I just wanted to dig that one in there.
Okay, shots
I'm
fired.
coming back on this pod.
Sorry, Christian, I'll let you crack on.
You need to stop dialing. You need to be here.
No. To be fair, Liverpool Brentford, I was going to leave it alone. I think Liverpool's odds are way too low to try and build something up here. And I mean, Brentford's still quite tempting, but I still think Liverpool will nick it.
Yeah.
I'd back Buemo every time. He takes penalties as well.
Yeah.
He's a great player.
Yeah,
Got him in all my fantasy teams.
6 goals. Like, but they are 9th in the league as well. They're not like.
That's where I'm expecting them to finish up. 9th, 10th. That sort of. They're not in the.
I didn't see that as high.
No.
No.
I think they were 9th or 10th last season.
With Ivan Toney.
Yeah, with Ivan Toney.
And I thought
although his ban is up soon. Although he's going, by the time he's fit, you're looking at end of the season really. No, but by the time he's like up to match fitness, they're not going to chuck him in January, are they?
Yeah.
So he's going to take a bit of time.
Definitely. I can see it,
yeah, of course. It's going to take time
you
to.
You can
build
be
back
that
up.
long away from the pitch, yeah.
The next game is one of the picks of the week, Chelsea City, and I want to kick off with Christian for this one. Fresh off the back of that 4-1 win.
Yeah. So we just need 4 red cards for Man City. We might have a chance.
How much? What's the price on that?
I did look into that one. Once that I did want to bring to the table, and I really wish it was a market now, is and it runs in line with the high line you saw for the Tottenham game. Chelsea have had the most offsides in the league, and 7 of those offsides. So we had 34 offsides. 7 of those offsides, so 21% came in that game against Tottenham. Which
I was just about to say that.
I mean, given where that line was, I'm not surprised.
That was just, we could talk all day
But
about that.
we can't back offside. Yellow cards. We've also had the most yellow cards in the league. Obviously, Nicholas Jackson's picked up 6. He loves the yellow card at the moment. I know I said this last week, but it took a few sending offs for us to get back into it. I can't see us beating City. We've only kept 1 home clean sheet this season, and that was against Luton. So I would go with City win over 2.5 goals for the game and over 4.5 cards, which is 4.3 money.
Nice.
Not bad. Both teams to score 172. You can couple that with a couple of stuff as well.
Nicholas?
I think both teams will score.
No, I can't see Chelsea scoring.
City haven't been like
Prolific.
no, but they haven't been like super rock solid defense. They concede goal in. They win 6-1. Yeah, but they concede. Let's not get started on City.
Here is where I bring my bag of bets.
Go on.
This is a very big bag of bets. I need extra luggage for this one.
Oversized.
Oversized. I'm on belt 26.
Exactly. Go to the other terminal for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Baggage.
Yeah, exactly. And I will claim it if it gets lost, because here is all the value.
No fragile sticker.
No fragile, just priority, just extra special. Let's go.
I think the sticker says heavy duty.
Yeah.
So, buckle up, boys. Man City to win is 170. Great price. Start simple. Man City over 1.5 goals, again simplicity. 167, great. Then we start combining these things. This is where it gets interesting. This is where you recognise me. Man City over 1.5 goals and over 4.5 corners. They average 6.4 in the league. That is 275. If you then go well within the average, 1.5 goals and over 5.5 corners, 350. And then you just about reach the edge of the average at over 1.5 goals and over 6.5 corners, 5.8. Boom. Then we go half-time, full-time, Man City, 260. They tend to really, really pressure their opponents early on, and then they just see the match out. 260, boom. Man City, -1, 275. Man City, -2. Haaland is having a field day, 5.5. Man City, over 5.5 shots on target is 2. They average 7.1, highest in the league. Over 6.5 shots on target, 2.8. Reece James, he gets a card. He elbowed the guy in the face against Tottenham. 345. There you go. That's the bag. It's checked in. It's delivered. Heavy duty, priority, orange sticker, whatever you want.
I'm tempted to book a flight now.
Might be a good time to tell our listeners as well to put the pod in 0.5 speed, because that was heavy.
Heavy duty.
Like Mark Haaland.
It was like being in an auction. You know when they've got the speakers at the auction? It's like that.
Yeah, with a guy that was selling the storages.
Yeah. If it doesn't work out in Kindred, mate, just go and be an auction. And
Yeah.
fantastic.
That's a good series of bet. What do you got, Christian? Because that's a good series of bet, but that's, yeah.
I think Christian's all out after doing that. I think he heard every bet that was available.
I think he's going to watch the game. Deflated.
Still trying to work out what he said.
It takes a while to process everything. And Christian, can we get a quick prediction? Obviously, being a Chelsea fan, what do you reckon?
Yeah, 2-3-0 City.
It's a bit, fair enough.
Let's not get carried away with the fact that we won 4-1, because we did.
No, to be fair,
I
I think we've thrown enough shade on that 4-1. We've pissed on that bonfire. And it is bonfire, well, almost bonfire night finished. Next week, obviously, we have an international break, but following that, we'll be looking out.
Time out. No. We're not going on international break here.
Go on.
I'm timing out you.
He has the bet of all the bets now.
We've got something coming up.
No, but we have a stat attack Aka here.
Okay,
I'm taking it.
Take the mic.
Don't you worry. So, the recurrent theme across all the bets have been shots on target. Well backed by stats, as you know. So, we go for the Aka of the lower lines, all within the average of the teams. Shots on target averages. So, Tottenham over 4.5, Newcastle over 5.5, Villa over 5.5, and City over 5.5 shots on target. That's 11.5. That's actually, if you look at all of them individually, a relatively safe set of suggestions. I will at least add the salt and pepper on this. We can't go without spice entirely. So we go for the just one step above. Tottenham over 5.5, Newcastle over 6.5, Villa over 6.5, and City over 6.5. That gives you 41. Quite a gap, and this is where I feel like there was some seasoning on my food, and I feel happy.
Yeah.
Now we're talking marinated here. It's like
yeah. Maybe even 5 chili flakes at this point. Whoa.
Bring your milk.
Now, Jim.
Wow. Yeah. Now back to me to conclude the pod. Obviously we have an international break coming up, so there'll be no pod next week. However, when we get back, we'll be previewing Man City Liverpool, which is a huge game. We have another London derby, which is Brentford Arsenal, and we also have Tottenham Villa, which is also a tasty game, and then Chelsea Newcastle.
That's a good one. And I will be 3 days before Newcastle play their more or less survival in the Champions League as well. So that's 18-19th, right? That's end of next week, these games.
They'll be played on the 25th and the 26th.
Following weekend?
Yeah. So it's back to...
Hello darkness, my old
Yeah,
friend.
exactly. Yeah, looking forward to that international break, eh? But anyway, thank you.
Just before we go,
Yep.
just before we go, for any of the football fans out there who love some end of season European drama, I wanted to shout out the Unibet sponsored Allsvenskan, which is entering its last game week. The title race has come down to Malmo versus Elfsborg, who are playing each other on the final day of the season. And basically, if Malmo win, they win the league. If Elfsborg win or draw, they win the league. So if West Ham Nottingham Forest doesn't cut it for you, then have a look at that game.
Christian, Nicholas, why didn't you mention this?
I don't care.
Oh, fair enough.
I don't think it's spicy enough for him.
It's not spicy enough. You know, being Scandinavian,
It's too cold up there.
My team are in the 2nd division, alright? Don't rub it in.
Fair enough. Who are you, Swedish team?
Helsingborg.
What?
They're staying up at least.
Well, it's not decided yet. There's also drama for that.
Anyway, we've massively diverted from the announcement of international break. But obviously, thank you everyone for joining, and thank you Christian for joining online, and obviously thank you very much for our listeners.
Thank you guys.
See you next week. Well, 2 weeks.